Hello everyone and welcome back to Stranglehold on the Xbox 360. I'm on Walsheep again, and today, well, in the last part I should clarify, I lied when I said we're finishing this mission today. This is only a short part, this one, but the next time we're finishing this mission for sure. I'm gonna be truthful about that. So yeah, this is probably the longest mission in the entire game. And to go back on the tangent that I was talking about in the previous part, I hate when game developers turn around and they use cinematic experiences as an excuse. Okay? Now, I understand if we want to make a game movie-like. I don't agree with it because I think games should be games and movies should be movies, but I understand where you're coming from. But don't use it as an excuse, you know? I want to make it, I put black bars on the screen to make it more like a cinema. No, if you want to be a developer, a director, make a film. Ugh.
How the half-assed gang like yours get this kind of firepower?
Ask Dragonclaw who's half-assed after we take control.
Golden King hasn't got the guts to take out Dragonclaw.
Yeah? Hide and watch. Big guns. We got lots more.
But yeah, it just gives off the impression that the game developers are just ashamed of their art form, and I'm just like, why? Movie developers are exactly the same as well. Why is it that people are always ashamed of their art form, you know? You're doing a game. Make a game, you know? Don't make a movie. Make a game. Ugh, but I digress.
Tequila. Half of Stilt City's in ruins and the rest of it's on fire. What the hell are you doing?
My job.
I want you out of there now. I'm sending a chopper. Stay put.
I've got orders to bring you back.
I know, but we have other orders too. Like to protect and serve.
Tequila!
5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. It's not over down there.
I guess I can give you 5.
It's time for the obligatory turret section, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, basically we need to aim and shoot everything we see and slow down time whenever we see missiles coming towards us, because missiles are gonna hurt us otherwise. But yeah, getting back to the whole, because it's not really much to talk about with this. It's a turret section. We go through a very linear path and shoot shit, you know. It's not much to explain about this. But going back to the whole discussion about... Jesus Christ, I just got decimated. Going back to the discussion about game developers and whatnot, I don't understand the obsession with trying to make things more cinematic. I mean, you can make cinematic cutscenes, no problem, because I don't mind that. But you can give the game a good story, I don't mind that. But make sure that the gameplay is equal or even to the amount of story you're putting into the game, you know? Because that's one of the big things I hear against the older 1886, is that... It's a short game, but the majority of the game apparently is cutscenes and story sequences, and I'm like, no game developers, you can have like the best gameplay in the world, but if there's not enough of it and you focus on the storyline, there's no point having the great gameplay, you know? Games are games first. I don't know how many people will agree with me with this, because I'm kind of going off in a tangent for one thing, but a lot of people seem to think cinematic experiences are the way to go for the future of gaming, and I just don't feel the same way, you know? Like The Last of Us, I don't think it should have been a game. I think it should be in a movie. You know, the older 1886, I haven't played it, so I can't give any opinions on it, but from what I've heard of the game, there's not enough to constitute it being a game. It should have been a film, again. It's bad enough that game developers using cinematic experiences as an excuse for lesser gameplay, because The Last of Us, like the gameplay, I find it really bland. There's not much to the gameplay at all. It's just stealth sequence after stealth sequence, which makes sense what the game's trying to be. But the gameplay's not even well made. Like, if your AI gets... The AI is awful with your teammates and all that, which in a way, I kind of understand. It's like a thing they did to stop things being more annoying for you. So, okay, fair enough. The AI being bad, I can sort of understand. But, you know, it's just bland, you know. It's just not the most well-made gameplay. The story sequences and the presentation of the game, I can't fault them. But everything else is just top-notch. Soundtrack is perfect for what the game's trying to do, everything. It's just the gameplay's not there. And that's basically where I'm getting at, folks. People are using cinematic as an excuse for the lack of gameplay these days, and I just don't think it's right, you know? Like, I still think games should stick to this age-old routine like this game runs, because this game is, well, arguably, this game has tons of gameplay, because because of this turret sequence, this actually brings up a good point about this game in particular. This game drags on stuff too long. Like, this turret section should have been done by now. This turret sequence should have been finished. This game really drags on sequences to the point that they start to get boring after a while. You know, that. So what I feel is the key to having a good game is having a good amount of gameplay, but not too much of the same thing. That's the key to having a really good game, in my opinion. Again, it's my opinion. I'm not going to be the same as everyone else's, but it's just how I feel. But I like the way this game handles cutscenes. You know, it goes from a cutscene and then it goes straight back to the gameplay, as if they never tried to interject it to, which I love, because games like Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and all them, they have these sequences where you're talking on the phone and you have nothing you can do. You just walk around. You can't progress any further because you're walking around talking on the phone as Batman. They should have made that a cutscene, because when it happens in-game, it makes me want to rush ahead because I'm trying to get through the story, you know? I try and move as fast as I can, and you're limiting me from doing what I want. I'm Batman, goddammit. I don't want to stand still talk on a phone. So basically what I'm saying is, when you want to do storyline sequences, don't incorporate it into your level design. Make it a cutscene, make it separate from the main game, and make the main game long enough and fun enough so it can stand on its own 2 feet without the cutscenes. That's basically what I'm getting at, you know, folks? And Jesus Christ, the start section's still going on. Like I said, this takes a long time to get past, and as I said, use slow motion whenever enemies are shooting rockets at you. Rockets are very easy to see because they're giant pink, purplish things that fly towards you, you know? They're quite visible. It's like they're a rocket and they're on fire or something, I don't know. So there's that. Anyway, when you're in this turret sequence, well, one thing I recommend is simply go into all these, well, there's loads of explosive canisters around. I just recommend taking advantage of them, taking these guys down. And your health will deplete over time. You're not invulnerable. But I don't think it depletes all that well. And that guy's arm's clipping through the boat. You know, I don't think it depletes fast enough for you to really have to worry. It's still really easy to sequence. Just slow down time when you need to. Now, don't continuously have time slowed down, because if you do, you won't have enough slow down power, if you will, not enough focus. I don't actually know what the move's called. I'm going to call it focus because of the Matrix. You won't have enough focus to slow down time and stop the rockets. And you don't need time to be slowed down when shooting down the rockets, by the way, folks. You know, it still moves pretty slow, but it just helps you to aim at the rockets and take them out, you know? But I digress. Like, by here, it makes it so much more easier to aim at that thing, because otherwise it'll keep propelling towards me and I'll start panicking because, oh my god, there's a rocket coming at my face! And if you're not panicking when there's a rocket coming at your face, then I want to know what priorities you have, because they seem out of whack. Oh, a rocket's coming across my face. Oh well, time to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I challenge you to a duel and all that good jazz. Why is this sequence still going on? Like I said, this game drags out sequences for longer than they need to go out. I would have preferred this, well, if this game kept these sequences in, because obviously it's a shooter. Mandatory turret sequence are in shooters. But had it made it shorter and as a result made more normal levels to walk through, you know, that's the only major complaint I guess I have for this game. It's just that everything goes on for longer than it should. Like, each level goes on for slightly longer than you expect it to. Actually, the next mission goes on for longer because of my own mistake, but that's beside the point. But, yeah. it just drags out. That's all I can say. That's probably why I made this turret sequence its own part, actually, as opposed to continuing the rest of the mission, because in theory, I could probably beat the rest of the mission in another 10 minutes, but eh.
Where are you? On a helicopter?
And losing my temper.
Hang in there. You gotta try and stop the Golden Cane from moving weapons and drugs to the flotilla. It's time to sink some boats. Check that chopper for some hull mines.
Great, now the game just, my entire rant about integrating gameplay and cutscenes just become null and void, because the game just integrated the two. Thank you, game, for making my entire rant null and void. Ugh, that's the only time in this game that happens, though, and like I said, it still annoys me when it does happen. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for part 3. It's a bit of a... I know it's a bit more of a ranty part than you're probably used to on this channel, but I just wanted to get it off my chest, you know? So thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish people, and when we return next time, I promise you, be finishing off this mission. So thanks for watching, don't be sheepish, I'll catch you all then. Bye!